favour? Against? Thank you, carried. Right, moving on to number 15, downstream effects, or upstream effects, whichever way you want to look at it.
This should be. That's all the team leaving. That's the entire squadron leaving.
So we've got mover and seconder, Katie, got Pauline and Sarah.
This should be quick, shouldn't it?
No way.
Isn't it this one here?
Yeah, it is.
Is it not quick?
Fire away, gentlemen.
Okay, good afternoon. Purpose of this report is to extend the bus lane trial along Cranford Street between Inners Road and Berwick Street. This is to allow consultation and decision making to take place on the permanent solution. Having some solution on Cranford Street is part of our obligations under the CNC Downstream Effects Management Plan. And there's budget available in the project for that over the next few years. At the point when we've done the consultation and decision making, we'll be able to come back with a clear idea on what the construction enforcement timetable looks like. If we were to stick with the bus lanes, it'd be almost overnight. For some of the more complicated things such as T2, there's probably quite a lengthy process involved in that. So it's difficult for us to give you a real feel of the timeframes at this stage. If the staff recommendation is not accepted today, the street will return to an urban arterial. So that's 2 driving lanes with unrestricted parking. I know when we came before, there were suggestions that we trialled a clearway. We've ruled this out as an interim solution as it requires reconsultation. It's very much on the table as a permanent solution, and it will be consulted on as part of the main consultation that we're looking to do. And the same with T2 for different reasons. It's quite technical and there's quite complex enforcement required for it. So again, on the table as a permanent solution, but not as an interim. I'd like to apologise as well. We did originally say we wanted the extension so that we could do the consultation. At that point, NZTA came to us and talked to us about changes to the T2 lane and what they'd learned about enforcement from Auckland and from the design they were doing on Brougham Street. And so we've been through a process with them about what that should look like, and that's why we haven't got to where we are today. That's why we're not ready to give you a permanent solution yet. This is definitely the last extension, though. The consultation plan has been developed. It's ready to roll out. There are a few small issues, but we're looking to brief council at the beginning of July. The consultation will also wrap up various safety issues that have been raised around English Park and the Cranford Westminster intersection, so that we can get as much feedback as we can on that. Community Board has been regularly briefed throughout. And just to be clear, because any decision on this will involve, or is almost certainly going to involve, special vehicle lanes of some form or another, this will come back to council. So you'll see this again. And that's it from me.
So, question from me. Sorry, how long did you say we're extending it for? I didn't just missed it.
We're extending it to the end of March. We hope to be back well before that with a decision, but that gives us a bit of breathing space.
Okay, and when it is coming back, there will be Clearway and T2 and bus lane. There'll be the 3 that are.
Like I said, we'll come back to you with a briefing at the beginning of July, but we're looking to consult on T2, Clearway, urban arterial, and bus lanes.
Okay, thank you. Aaron.
Yeah, a couple of questions, because we asked them last time this come back for an extension. Where are the bus numbers? Because it's a bus lane trial.
Yeah.
So how good is the uptake on the bus?
It's pretty good. It's growing pretty fast. So the 91 and 92, which are the express buses from Rangiora and Kaiapoi, are growing pretty substantially. So just as an example, the 92, which comes from Kaiapoi, in its first year it had about 7,000 passengers. In the last year, it's had about 35,000 passengers.
Awesome.
And the 91 has gone from about 32,000 in its first year, not 32, 32,000 its first year to about 54,000 in the last year.
Well, okay, so that's good. That not good. Yeah. Oh, I've got plenty of photos of empty ones, but there's at peak time there are busy ones. So which is good. Now, how when it came through last time, when the traffic engineers, the consultants, sorry, that we employed suggested to do a clearway, and we had the option to vote on that day, but of course didn't, because that would encourage traffic flow. So how could we vote on it that day but not do a clearway now?
You've done consultation, and you've. So the decision we made is that we would trial the bus lanes.
Yeah.
The feedback we've had from our engagement teams is that we would need to reconsult if we were going to go for a clearway at this stage.
Why? That makes no sense, because we were allowed to do a clearway then. So why would that change? Everyone doesn't find that one as funny.
Is that on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, kia ora. My name's Kieran. I'm an engagement advisor in the engagement team. In terms of just to, if you could just repeat your question. Sorry about.
So when we made the original decision to put in the bus lane, the consultant's advice was to do a clearway, and that we decided to do the opposite because we can. And then my hope was that we would then trial that for 6 months, and then trial a clearway, and then see which has the best results for traffic flow, because that would lower emissions the most. But but we've opted to keep doing this. But now we're told we can't. Would have to consult. Why would we have to consult?
If there was a clearway trial, for example.
Yeah.
So the reason why is because the level of impact that would happen on the street there would be, and also because of the I guess the community's response to the previous engagement that happened in 2019 as well as 2020. It's a very sensitive. It's a community that has had a lot of changes happen to it, and it is also a very reactive community. So being able to consult with them for such a large change would be necessary. We have done quite a bit of pre-engagement on this project with local community groups such as the St Albans Residents Association, and they made it very clear to us that changing the layout of the road to increase traffic volume would be something that it would significantly impact them, especially since key priorities for the area that we've been told are safety, especially for children, and in light of the Westminster Cranford incident. I think, consulting with the community from a risk perspective especially would be the preferable option, so that people have adequate opportunity to be able to and make an informed decision, I guess, what happens to their community, since so much has happened to.
So do we have a time that if you could make the decision 2 years ago, after 6 months that kind of lapses? Is that how we roll, or is it a year, or is it 2 years?
Oh, sorry, the amount of time that needs to have occurred until
you have to consult.
Yeah.
We didn't then. We could make the decision on that day. We didn't. So then, and now it says we have to consult. So what's the timeline between that? Is it like 1 year or something?
Sorry.
It's what? June. It rolls over.
Yeah, at the moment, we're just trying to maintain the status quo, just for a little bit longer.
That's obvious.
Yep, just for a little bit longer until we can bring a decision report to you to have a final decision on what the options are.
Which brings me to my final question: is that if we have the opportunity to trial the clearway, which was the original recommendation, then this would give us the chance to trial it for 6 months, 8 months, whatever, and then you guys come back with the reports and go, you know what, a clearway doesn't work well, or actually it works better, or the bus lane's better, or we think we should now trial a T2 for 6 months or a year. Why would we not take the opportunity?
If we were to trial another option now, we would have to consult, because it's changing what's on the road at the moment quite significantly, and that's just going to delay the whole process again. We're not too far away from going out to consultation anyway, so we just want to carry on, go to consultation on all the options and bring those back to you.
Can I add to that? So the advantage of a clearway is that it stopped so much rat running into the side streets.
Yeah.
What we have seen is that we
Not as
haven't,
much as you'd
we've not reached that 30% threshold apart from on a couple of streets which are not affected by the changes that have been made.
Okay, no. Yeah, Yanni.
Thank you. That's good to get the data for the passenger numbers. Obviously, COVID would have had a bit of an impact on the numbers. Do we have the same sort of statistics in terms of the journey time? Like, what's the trend of the journey time of the buses on this route?
I don't have that data, no.
Right. Isn't that pretty
Through the
fundamental?
chair, I can speak to that.
Doing a trial.
Here we have.
Yeah, I'm a passenger on the 91 daily basis, and I can confirm that the bus has standing room only by the time it leaves Rangiora, the bus that I catch at 7:30. Yes, much quicker. It's basically I catch the bus at 7:35, and I'm back in the office by about 25 past here. That's walking from Manchester Street to here. So
We could ask them
but we
if
should,
they can
like-
be away now as well.
yeah,
If
I
we're
could
doing a
comment
trial around
on
the effectiveness
the bus
of
lane.
this, then surely one of the questions is what is the journey time savings or benefits that are occurring?
So we've done some modelling on the 4 different options that we're looking to consult, and we can bring that back to you when we do the briefing. So if you'll let us come back to you with that data.
Okay.
Right. So does that
Yeah.
mean like you've
So
got the journey time?
someone's moved it, haven't they?
Sorry, can I just?
Yeah, move it. Move it.
Right, and just one real quick question. It can't be that much harder to police T2 as it is to do, but bring that back to us next time. But I'm just asking.
It's all to do with the type of camera enforcement
Yeah.
and whether it can detect blow-up dolls and stuff like that on the passenger seats.
There is.
Now, oh,
That'll be in the final. That'll be in the final.
Jake's been caught.
Bring that back.
I mean, we joke, but there is an awful lot of work that goes into these. And the other
blowing
thing
up the
that's
doll
quite,
for a start.
the other thing that's quite complicated.
That will come back in the in the report. Final
Yes.
report.
Yeah, certainly we can come back in the
We're
briefing.
heading
in the
down a
final report.
terrible rabbit hole here.
Exactly.
But no,
Right,
I mean,
I'll put the motion. All those in favour. All those against. No, thanks, carried. Righto, let's go.
thank you.
Oh, Aaron's against. Okay. Oh, God.
So this is the last one. Isn't it?
Before the mayor's report. Yeah. So item number 16.